Hey, what's up, good people? I'm QC. Glad to be back with y'all for another live nightly digital show. Got a few things I'm definitely going to talk about tonight. First, Kyle Brandt gives his reasons why that he feels the Cleveland Browns are hard to root for because of DeShaun Watson. Also, Jason Whitlock, as I like to call him, Grimace Lock, throws mad shade at Michael Oher. I'm covering these topics and more here tonight on Talking and Grubbing, live nightly digital show, which tips off right here and right now. Hey, what's up, good people? I'm QC. Welcome to a brand new Talking and Grubbing live nightly digital show. How's everybody doing on this Monday night? Hope everybody's doing good. I'm doing good. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Sorry I haven't been doing the show last couple weeks trying to get some things together, but now I'm back. I'm glad to be back with all of y'all. See some people in the chat. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. What's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for joining me. Y'all go subscribe to his channel. My dude Bruce. What's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for joining me. Also, if you would like to donate to the channel, excuse me, if you would like to support the channel, you can donate via Cash App or PayPal. There's the Cash App cash tag, $ Talking and Grubbing. Also, here's the PayPal email address, talkingandgrubbing@gmail.com. Any donation you give to the channel, I greatly appreciate it, and I appreciate everyone who has supported the channel past and present. It's not enough words to describe my appreciation, so all I can say is thank you. Thank you for helping me keep this channel going, and hopefully it keeps growing. All right, got myself a rotisserie chicken sandwich tonight that I'm grubbing on. Had this last night for the winning time recap live stream. So sandwich was so good, figure I'd do it again tonight. Still should have got some cheese though. Hope all y'all had a great weekend. Man, that's good. It's a good sandwich right there, boy. Man, I should have got some cheese to go with that sandwich. I would have set this sandwich off. But anyway, the first story I want to get into tonight. Recently, Kyle Brandt, who's a co-host of Good Morning Football on the NFL Network, he and his co-host, they were talking about the Cleveland Browns and what their chances are of competing this year in the tough AFC. And the discussion came up was, are the Browns being overlooked as far as the AFC? Now, Kyle Brandt says that the reason why that the Browns are being overlooked is because of DeShaun Watson, and basically said the Browns are unwatchable and hard to root for because of Watson. Oops. Change that title. Okay, so here's the audio clip of what he said. I'll be back with the rest of my take. All right, so once again, that was Kyle Brandt of Good Morning Football. Now, here's my take. To me, Kyle Brandt was not genuine in his take. In fact, he was very disingenuous. It seemed like his take came off as he's trying to, you know, play, play to the crowd, cater to the side that's all against Deshaun Watson, just so just so basically he could just get clickbait, because he knows that take would drive a lot of clicks and views, whether it's on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or whatever social media site. And also, it's like most of us want to move on from it, especially Browns fans and football fans, because it's already been talked about. It's out there already. We know what it is. Unless there's some new details or allegations that come about, what's the point of keep on drumming it up? every 5 seconds. It's like you're beating a dead horse. And also, it's kind of fun. It's also funny that they love to say that he's saying that the Browns are hard to hype up and talk about because of Deshaun Watson. Listen, did y'all have a problem with hyping up the Steelers despite the fact Big Ben was accused of rape by 2 women? Did y'all have a hard time hyping up the Chiefs after Tyreek Hill was accused of abusing his own son? And then later on, Andy Reid's son, who was on the coaching staff, messed around, was drunk driving that ended up killing the kid. Y'all weren't saying that the Chiefs were hard to talk about because of those situations. Hell, y'all weren't saying the Bengals were hard to talk about because Jackson Carman committed statutory rape against a 15-year-old girl, or Joe Mixon recently, was accused of menacing. Yes, he was found not guilty, but he pulled a gun on a woman and a teenager. Y'all went yelling that the Bengals were hard to talk about because of those situations. But it's like, it's redundant. It's like, why keep on bringing it up every 5 minutes? But you know why they keep on bringing it up? Because one, Kyle Brandt, he works for the NFL Network. Who runs the NFL Network? The owners. And we all know that last year when DeShaun Watson was traded to the Browns and got that $230 million contract fully guaranteed, that pissed a lot of owners off in the NFL. And from what I heard, that the Haslams were not welcomed with open arms at those owners meetings down in Florida after they had, gave Watson that deal, because they basically reset the market on how teams pay for their quarterbacks. And they're still pissed off about that contract because now all the owners had to give their quarterbacks similar, if not the same deals. Jalen Hurts just got his money. Lamar Jackson, he just got his money. Joe Burrow, next year or year after next, his deal is up. Justin Herbert just got his money. So, the Haslams, they are public enemy number one in the eyes of all the other 31 NFL owners, because they changed the way how you sign a quarterback to a deal. Because now all these quarterbacks are that's elite. They're going to demand the same type of deal or a similar type deal. Josh Allen ended up getting his new deal right before Deshaun Watson got his, so that's a different story. But that's what this is really about. And Kyle Brandt, he's just doing the bidding of the owner, since he works for the NFL Network and they run the network, because they're still outraged over the contract. And also, like I just said, it's like, why keep bringing it up during a preseason game or a regular season game? We know the story already. It's like beating a dead horse. It's definitely like beating a dead horse. And also, as far as the whole social media thing, like you can't compare Watson to Allen and Herbert, because they've been with their teams for a number of years. They were playing last year. Deshaun Watson only had 6 games, and prior to those 6 games, hadn't played football in over 2 years. And if they were showing all those highlights, you would be the main one sitting up getting mad at the people who run the Browns Twitter account for showing all those highlights because of what he was accused of. And also, another thing that's getting on my damn nerves is this selective morality and the selective outrage. It's like, keep the same energy across the board. No crime is bigger or smaller than the other. Both are bad. Like I said, nobody talks about the Bengals still having guys like Jackson Carman on their team or Joe Mixon, with the allegations that they've had set forth against them. Y'all still talk about them. Y'all still praise them as being great teams. Also, It didn't stop the Steelers from getting talked about and being on national TV when Ben was going through his situations and after his situations. Matter of fact, the final 2 years of his career, a lot of y'all waxed poetically about his career. Y'all never brought up that man's allegations. But no matter what Deshaun Watson does, especially this upcoming season, he could have one hell of a season and put up all kinds of numbers. I bet my last dollar they would not name that man comeback player of the year or most improved player. I can bet on it. They are not going to give that award to him. Definitely wouldn't give that award to him. But yeah, Kyle Brandt, man, you just being disingenuous, dude. Very disingenuous. It's like, man, the man served his suspension. He's done he's definitely completed all the guidelines set forth or agreed upon, by the NFL and the NFL Players Association. There hasn't been any new accusations that came up since he's been in Cleveland. And for the most part, to this point, he's been a model citizen. So all we want to do is just get off of this story and just move on to some football. Because it's time. It's definitely time to move on from this story. We've been talking about this for over a year and a half. Move on. Okay? Y'all didn't, okay? You didn't get the full year suspension that you wanted. Big deal. Move on. All right, good people. I'm going to take a quick timeout. I'll be right back. Let you hear a word from my partners at BetUs.com, where the game begins.
Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back for our 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers our members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite sports, including NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. Sign up at BetUS.com today to get into the action.
All right, I'm back, good people. Now, if you're looking for a great sports book for this upcoming NFL season, BetUs is the one for you. Sign up now with my link, and after your first deposit, you'll get 125% sign up bonus. Type in the promo code JOIN125. You'll get more chances to bet, more chances to win. BetUs, where the game begins. All right, on to the next story. Well, our least favorite analyst, Jason Whitlock, aka Grimacelock, as I like to call him, is at it again. This time, he's throwing mad shade at former NFL offensive lineman Michael Oher, as you all know, who played with the Baltimore Ravens most of his career, won a Super Bowl, also got to another Super Bowl with the Carolina Panthers. And also, he was the subject of the movie The Blind Side, in which Sandra Bullock won a Best Actress Oscar for her performance. Now, recently, Oher has came out and filed a lawsuit against the Tuohys, saying that he did not get any rightful royalties from the book as well as the film. And he has since cut all ties with the Tuohys. The Tuohys, they fired back saying that's not true, that they treated him like family, but we all know that's BS. So Jason Whitlock has basically tried to put in his application to be the Tuohys defense attorney with all these tweets. Starting with this one right here, I quote, "Why do you think they have complete control over his finances? So far, he's never once said that. He's complained about his cut of the movie deal. You know, you can have a conservatorship/contract in place and never exercise any of it. There's no proof or allegation the Tuohys ever controlled his NFL money, or argues they cut a bad deal for him on the movie. That's it. You can be listed as a conservator and not act as a conservator. Happens all the time." No, the hell it doesn't. If it's a conservatorship, guess what? They have control of everything, including his money. Excuse me. Whatever he makes in the NFL, whatever he got from The Blind Side, the book and the movie, they had control of that. It's a legal document, Jason. And when money is involved, yes, most people do act on that right because they benefit from it financially. And yes, he did get a bad deal from the movie. That was his damn life story. All he got paid was peanuts. That movie made what, over $300 million worldwide. And he did not get his rightful cut. Definitely should have got more than what he ended up getting. And also, that movie made him look bad because Michael Oher in real life is an intelligent dude. Matter of fact, when he was in college, he was on the dean's list. But in that movie, they made him look like he was just a dumbass. Straight up dumbass who didn't know anything. And he said that movie has basically hindered him while he was in the NFL and has hindered him outside of the NFL. Because a lot of people think that the character portrayed in that movie is how he is in real life. And that's not the case. Here's some more of Jason Whitlock's tweets. Since news broke of Oher's legal action against the Tuohy family, the corporate media has recycled Oher's allegations without any real research or fact checking. It fits the mainstream media's approved narrative to paint a white Christian family as the oppressor of a young, naive, impoverished black youth, when in reality, it takes very little investigative skills to expose parts of Oher's claims. Well, all right, you're part of that same media, Jason. Where's your proof? Where are your claims at, Jason? Since you saying it's so easy to prove, Where's your proof? Where is your fact checking? Did you talk to the lawyers? Did you talk to the Tui family? Did you talk to Michael Oher? No, you didn't. All you're doing is just because you see them as white, you think they're automatically the victims and not the perpetrators. And you've always done this. Every time, if it's a black person against a white person, you always defend the white person automatically, no matter what, because deep down inside, Jason, you wish you were white. And if you could paint yourself white, you would in a heartbeat. You definitely would paint yourself white in a heartbeat. Like, why does this man who played in the NFL for 7 years, why would he have to lie on them? What does he have to gain by lying on them? Especially when his life story was made into a book and a movie. So what? He's just supposed to be happy that they took him into their home. He's not supposed to get what he rightfully deserves. He's not supposed to get his royalties. I mean, come on. That was his life that they used to write that book and to make that movie. Like, man, how dare you sit up and try to say that man is just lying on this family. And you trying to do the same thing that the mainstream media always does. You're trying to make the Tuohys look like these innocent, good Christian, heroic saviors, and try to make Michael Oher like this ungrateful Negro. Man, dude, you are like Hoppin' Bob off of life. Matter of fact, you're worse than him. You are definitely worse than him, because Hoppin' Bob, in a lot of ways, was way worse than the white CEO. I mean, CEO, excuse me. Hoppin' Bob was way worse than that CEO. And you are just like him. You are more harsh to black people than anybody else. Very harsh. You try and make this dude, basically call this dude a liar. And also, you want to make him like he's stupid just because he played in the NFL, just because he played in the NFL. And this is another tweet I saw, Jason Whitlock, that just pissed me off to the highest level of pistivity. And this was an article he wrote for his paymaster, Glenn Beck at the Blaze. Here's this tweet. He said, the attack on the blind side and the Tuohys is a warning to white Christians to avoid trying to help the next Michael Oher, excuse me. Let me take off this banner. The headline reads, Whitlock, Michael Oher and the critics of the blind side. Matter of fact, let me type this up right quick. In fact, I ain't even gonna waste my time. But basically, what Jason Whitlock is saying, hey, don't try to help out another Michael. Don't try to adopt another black youth if you're a white Christian person, because they're gonna turn on you like Michael Oher. Like, come on, man. How disingenuous are you, dude? That's very disingenuous. And also, you're painting this narrative like, oh, he's not grateful for that family to take him into their home. I'm like, well, what does he have to be grateful for? Like, yeah, they took him in and raised them as their, well, maybe treat them like their own. But guess what? In the end, he got ripped off by these people. Like, would you want to be loyal to anybody that ripped you off, Jason? No, you wouldn't. If you say yeah, you a damn lie. Matter of fact, if you say you will still be loyal to the same people that backstabbed you and took your money, man, I got a bridge and a few empty lots to sell you. Like you always do this, Jason. You always throw mad shade at these black athletes. You know why you do it? Because you're jealous. You went to college and played college football, and no NFL team took you in the draft or even as an undrafted free agent. You've been pissed off ever since. You got pissed off jock syndrome. And also, you can't talk about anybody. At least Michael Oher, we ain't heard about him being broke. We haven't heard about him committing any crimes ever since he's retired from the NFL. Pretty much, he's been quiet up to this point. He's just now starting to say something about this whole situation. But you, on the other hand, dude, you get fired from everywhere you've been. You were a beat writer in Kansas City for the Chiefs. You got fired. You were with ESPN. You got fired. Matter of fact, none of the black folks wanted to even work with your ass at ESPN. And I'm not a fan of a lot of people that work at ESPN, but they damn sure saw what kind of snake in the grass you were. Then you get on a network perfect for you in FS1. You were appearing on Fox News shows all the time. You could even hold that job. And it wasn't because of no contract dispute. They did that just so they could be nice and just say they tried to renegotiate with you, but they didn't want to bring you back. They weren't. Then on the flip side, you got with your so-called boy Clay Travis at Outkick. And matter of fact, you invested 500 G's of your own money into that platform, and he kicked you out for the dude who didn't even invest as much. And then not too long after Clay Travis threw you out like Jazz, he sold it to Fox Sports for $10 million. Now you on your last leg here with the Blaze that doesn't beat anybody. Doesn't beat no network. But you sitting up throwing shade at this dude. But you always do this, Jason. Every time it comes to white people and black athletes, you'll side with white people in a minute and then throw shade at the black athlete. No matter who it is. But you try to say that his claims are lies. Well, where's yours? Where's your facts to back that up, Jason? You don't got facts, Jason. All you're doing is you basing this on a lot of emotion and a lot of your own bias because you think that the Tuohys are not doing anything wrong. You want to paint them as these good white Christian saviors and paint Michael Oher as this dumb, unappreciative, stereotypical hood Negro. And how dare he not show appreciation to them? Like, he don't owe them anything. If he don't want to show his appreciation to them, that's his right. Just like anybody else. And he has a right to demand his damn money. They ain't got no business having no control over that man or his money. Because if they're so rich, like they're fronting, like they say they are, they wouldn't have took one damn dime of that man's money from that book or that movie. So, Jason, you better shut up and have several seats. I'm seeing people in the chat. Bruce, you say, I feel Jason Whitlock is the traitor. Big time. He's a Judas. That's all he is. He ain't nothing but a Judas to the community. He's just as bad as any criminal in our community. Matter of fact, in some ways, he's worse. At least we see the criminals coming. But he'll try to be all nice and buddy-buddy with you and then stab you in the back. You also say, I feel you 100, as Whitlock always the worst person and worse than any other sports announcer. Very worse. You said, QC Whitlock sell out us for a cookie, for he got no heart, no morals. He definitely would. He sell us out for a plate of butter biscuits with the extra jelly, Bruce. You also say, I never see you mad, but I feel you 100 as Whitlock the devil. Yeah, I'm mad about that because you sitting up trying to throw shade at this, not only say this man's lying, but you want to throw all these digs at him. You want to throw these digs at him like he's stupid, he's unappreciative. Oh, he ain't nothing but a typical hood Negro. Where this dude who played football and still made the D's list in college, that's a rare feat for any athlete to do. So he's not a dumb dude. Now, I think Michael Oher was naive, but I get it to a certain extent. He was young. He wanted a family. So I don't fault him for that. We've all been naive at one point or another. But yeah, I get mad about that because Jason Whitlock always want to throw digs at us. But when it's everybody else, he's quiet as a church mouse. He never says one word about them. But when it's us, oh, it's full game. Now, he's got this damn show called Fearless. Man, that title is bullshit. He needs to change that show to Cowardly because that's all he is. He's a damn coward. Fearless people always stand up for truth, justice, and call out and stand for what's right and call out what's wrong. Jason Whitlock does none of that. All he does is go in on us and try to bully us. Fearless my ass. Your show should be called Cowardly because you a coward. Big time coward. You ain't fearless. You don't got no balls whatsoever. Because if you really have balls, you would have started your own platform instead of trying to go to another man's platform and put money in it. You could have took that 500 G's and started your own stuff. But no, you feel like you can't do it without them. So you're not fearless. You're cowardly, Jason. Big time coward. Bruce, you said, QC, I feel like you feel as the traitor and the Judas as always try to beat down us when he always support the white people. Yep, that's another reason why I don't rock with Jason Whitlock. He always defends racists. Every time he always defends racists. He also said, true man stand up for oppressed people, but Whitlock the coward devil. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you really fearless, you stand up for what's right, and you call out what's wrong. You don't sit up and dog what's right, but then you sit up and stand for what's wrong, or you stand for people who do wrong things. And that's what he does. He stands for people who are racist. He definitely stands for people who are racist. And another thing I didn't like. Now, that's the next story I'm going to get into, so I'm going to save it for that. But he took digs at a player recently who got hurt. I'm like, man, what kind of man are you, dude? You say you such a Christian, but all you do is sit up try to demonize and dog people. Jesus ain't about that. You not living the Christian way, Jason. You are not living the Christian way if you sit up and put down your brothers. Because Jesus ain't about that. Now, okay, now I might be going, now I know I'm going on the faith angle. I know maybe some of you watching this may not be, Christian or quote unquote religious, but I gotta go there because how you say you're a Christian, but you don't stand on any principles or righteous principles at that. It's a hypocrite. Bruce, you said QC, I gotta go, but I feel you number one of the best, and thank you for saying this is Jason Whitlock. Got to shut up, and we got to call him out for he nothing but the traitor, devil, and coward. Thank you, Bruce. I'm glad you stopped in. Make sure you stop in tomorrow. You have a good one, man. All right, good people. I'm gonna take a quick time out, and I'll be right back. So don't go away. All right, I'm back, good people. Bruce said, QC, always I say God bless you and always wish you nothing but love. Thank you, Bruce. God bless you too, man. Thank you. All right, on to the next story. New England Patriots cornerback Isaiah Bolden is recovering after suffering a preseason injury game over the weekend. During their preseason game against the Green Bay Packers, Bolden ended up colliding with a teammate, and he was motionless for a while, and they had to put him on a stretcher and cart him off the field, but they ran tests on him, and it came out that he's doing better. He was released. Now he's back with the team. So definitely hope and pray that Bolden has a successful recovery. Also, after the injury, the NFL decided to call the game to ensure that no other players were hurt. They started doing this, especially doing this last year after Buffalo Bills star Darvin Hamlin suffered cardiac arrest on the sideline during the Monday night game against the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati. The NFL definitely did the right thing here because recently the backup quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers suffered a head injury. I don't think it was a concussion. I forget the quarterback's name. It slips my mind. But glad the NFL definitely stepped in and called the game because you don't need any more players risking to get hurt. They definitely did the right thing here. You got to look out for the players and their safety. They're definitely tightening down on due to the concussion, on concussion protocols, excuse me, which definitely they need to because we all know there's been a lot of NFL players who passed on. And it was discovered that they had CTE, such as the late, great Junior Seau, as well as Dave Burleson. It was definitely discovered that they had CTE, as well as Aaron Hernandez. So, yeah, the NFL definitely did the right thing by calling the game. You don't need any more players hurt. And what for? It's only a preseason game. It's not like a game that counts. And also, like I said, you got to look out for the players' safety because if they would have kept that game going, more players would have gotten hurt in the same way Bolden did or worse, then that definitely brings a lot of bad publicity to the NFL and also a lot of lawsuits as well by that player as well or their family. God forbid something happens to them. And 9 times out of 10, they will win if they go to court. But most likely, that team in the NFL will have to reach a settlement because they definitely don't want this to go to court because it would get downright nasty and ugly. And now Jason Grimslot once again had to definitely put his 2 cents on this one, saying that Isaiah Bolden, Bill Belichick, and feminism is the blame for the NFL dying. Talking about, Saturday night the NFL died because they ended the game. I'm like, man, Jason, you don't shut the hell up, dude. You never played in the NFL. Like, come on, come on. You a big dude, and you played offensive lineman. No team wanted to play. No NFL team wanted to pick you up. Shut up, dude. Come on. And how you gonna throw shade at a player that was hurt, man? Like, you don't know how severe that man's injury could have been. I mean, come on, look at Ryan Shazier several years ago. That man was damn near paralyzed. Matter of fact, no, he was paralyzed briefly and almost couldn't walk again. Now, by the grace of God, he's walking again. But you never know. I'm like, man, come on now. Like I said, you supposed to be such a Christian and believe in all the teachings of the Bible, but you didn't even wish this man a speedy recovery. You didn't say, you didn't say prayers to him, or you hope he continues a successful recovery. No, you're so busy on this culture war BS, weren't worrying about just stuff that's not important. I mean, come on. Yes, I love football. I like football, basketball, and all that, but I do know there's still life at the end of the day, and people's lives are still on the line here that play this sport. And I don't want anything to happen to any of them, especially where it comes to a point where somebody's being carried off of a dog on a stretcher. That's not good, man. I'm like, man, you just being downright low to that man's injury. And also, how you such an expert on the NFL and you never played? All right, good people. I'm going to take another commercial break. I'll be right back.
Listen up, sports fans. Your favorite sportsbook, BetUs.com, is back for our 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUs offers our members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite sports, including NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. We've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest new European slots, and our live dealers are waiting for you at the table. Sign up at BetUs.com today to get into the action. BetUs, where the game begins.
All right, I'm back, good people. Now, this last story I want to get into. Now, recently, Steph Curry came out and proclaimed that he's the best point guard in NBA history. Now, we definitely know the career Steph Curry has had so far. He's a multiple All-Star, a four-time NBA champion, won the Finals MVP season before last, two-time MVP. Of course, during the 2015-16 season where the Warriors won 73 games, he was the unanimous MVP. And yeah, he's definitely an all-time great. Got love for Steph, but Steph, you're not the greatest point guard ever. That title belongs to Magic Johnson. You know, he has more all NBAs. Of course, he's a five-time NBA champion, three-time Finals MVP. I think he's only won the MVP once or twice. Matter of fact, let me check to be sure. Okay, he's a three-time MVP. Okay, so I wasn't too far off. Magic won 3 MVPs. But also, Magic definitely showed that a taller guy could play point guard. Now, yeah, Steph has definitely revolutionized the game in some ways, being a guy that size that can shoot from anywhere, but he ain't the first to do it, and he's not going to be the last. But no, Steph is not the greatest point guard ever. I know some Steph Curry fans are going to feel some type of way with me saying this, but Steph is not the best point guard ever. There are a lot of point guards that were doing it before him that definitely done it better. Like I said, the greatest point guard ever is Magic Johnson. Now, Steph is a top five all-time point guard. Yes. Definitely ain't going to take that away from him, but he's not the best. There's also Isaiah Thomas. There's Jason Kidd, CP3, John Stockton. And I'm not saying John Stockton is better than Steph, but I'm just saying that there's just a lot of competition out there. But no, Steph is not the best point guard ever. Yeah, he has the accolades, he has the championships, but he's not the best point guard ever. And yes, he's definitely revolutionized the game in some ways, but that doesn't make you the best point guard ever. Definitely doesn't make you the best point guard ever. Like I said, once again, that belongs to Irvin, Magic Johnson. He gets that title. And also a knock against Steph, why he doesn't get into that. Well, he's not in that conversation because the finals. Because for the most part, especially when he had KD was the best player. Yes, Steph was second best, but he wasn't the finals MVP. It was KD. Like I said, Magic, he has 3 of them. So most of the Showtime Lakers run, Magic was the MVP for 3 out of 5 of them. Of course, the one in 85 went to Kareem and the one in 88 went to James Worthy, but Magic, for the most part, was the best player on those teams. All right, good people. I'm going to take a quick pause and I'll come back and let you know what's on my mind before we get out of here. So don't go away.
Your favorite sportsbook, BetUs.com, is back for our 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUs offers our members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite sports, including NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. Sign up at BetUs.com today to get into the action.
All right, I'm back, good people. Before we wrap up here tonight, just want to let you know what's on my mind. Now, earlier in the show, I discussed how Kyle Brandt said that the Browns are hard to talk about due to the fact that DeShaun Watson was accused of sexual assault by 27 different women. Now, look, of course, that all is always going to be out there. I get it. But also, I never heard anybody say a team was either hard to root for, hard to talk about, or to watch because of one player. You know, Ray Lewis, he was involved in a murder. Nobody yelled it was hard to watch the Ravens. Robert Kraft was accused of prostitution. Matter of fact, participating in a sex trafficking ring. Nobody yelled it was hard to talk about the Patriots, and also no one was yelling for Dan Snyder to lose his team, despite the fact, you know, multiple female staff members accused him of sexual harassment. And matter of fact, people are still talking about the Commanders now, despite the fact that they've had all this drama and baggage from the Dan Snyder era. But now we're about to embark on another season. Let's just focus on football. Okay? Because if it wasn't hard to talk about other players when they've got involved in scandals, then it's definitely not hard to talk about DeShaun Watson. All right, good people, I'm about to get out of here. Thank y'all for joining me. I greatly appreciate all you for hanging out with me on this night. Whether you tuned in on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch, I just appreciate all y'all taking time out your night to hang out with me for a while. I'll be back tomorrow night at 8:30. So until then, y'all have a good one. Love y'all to life. Salute. Y'all be safe. Enjoy the rest of your night and enjoy your day. I'm out. See y'all tomorrow.